Woo! Hi, my salty pecans. Hold on. This lighting be playing me. Okay. Can you see me? Can you see me? Hi. I'm coming on here barefaced tonight because I had another one of my laser hair appointments. So that's where I was before this. And now here I am, of course, with a little Christmassy moodiness going on. I got the green. I feel as Christmassy as Christmas can be. And of course, I got my Santa hat leaning because Santa ain't all that good over here, what I still deserve a present this Christmas time. Hold on. So let me just make sure everything is good on my end. What is my hair doing? What is this doing? Sabotage! Sabotage AF. All right, let me. Woo. Let's see what's going on. Okay. What is my hair doing? I don't know where this piece is coming from. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so tonight's houseplant and cocktail, we are going to be making our version of a White Russian Christmassy edition. So I do not drink milk much at all. So for the milk portion of the White Russian, I'm just going to use these little situations, this little milky thing. And I picked up some Kahlua, which is a rum and coffee liqueur. So this is a new addition to the houseplant and cocktail collection. Liquor, spirit collection. And I'm just going to use Tito's because it calls for vodka. And to make this a smidge Christmassier, I'm going to add a little bit of crushed peppermint to the bottom of this. So, yeah. I'm just doing this. This is my own little made up thought that I have. And I have my glass and I have ice and, of course, my measuring utensil. So, let us get into making our White Russian Christmassy houseplant edition. Oh my gosh. So much just happened off camera. The stage left. Oh my gosh. This entire thing just fell and knocked down a plant. Almost crushed it. Bear with me. Okay. All right. Let's move this closer. I look crazy. Okay, so let me just make sure I have the correct recipe for our White Russian. Okay, so you are going to need, go back. Okay, so we're going to need 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of Kahlua, and 1 ounce of your milk of choice. And I'm just using this low fat dairy as my cream option. I didn't want to like just get a whole heavy cream, honestly, just to have it just for this one recipe. All right. So the Kahlua is a rum and coffee liqueur, like I mentioned. I've been seeing this in a couple of different recipes, so I decided to just pick it up. It comes in a few different sizes. This is the largest one they have because it just makes sense to get something worth the price. And with the White Russian, you don't mix it. So I don't have a shaker. I usually have my shaker here. I don't have that. So all we're going to do is add the vodka and the Kahlua to the glass. And, you know, the glass has ice in it already. And that's pretty much it. So let me pour my ice. I have my leaf motif ice. Okay. So I have the crushed peppermint. So it's really like powdery for the most part. So the thought that I'm having with this is it's going to like soak in the vodka and make it a little pepperminty, like a more Christmas vibe. Hi, Debbie Snacks. Welcome. It's lovely seeing you here tonight. So this is calling for 2 ounces of vodka. And I'm going to do 1.5 ounces because I don't want 2 ounces of vodka. And you're going to need 1 ounce of your Kahlua. One ounce of Kahlua. And you're going to need your milky cream. And again, I'm just using this versus like a half and half for a heavy cream. And just 1 ounce of the milk. That's 1 ounce to the top. And just pour it to not blend, but just to coexist is really what we want the dairy to do with the Kahlua. We want it to just coexist. And that is essentially our White Russian. And again, because it's the holiday season, so we're trying to make it a little festive, I'm going to grab a little candy cane. Okay. Oh. Okay. And just put this baby over here. And voila, we have our Pam's edition of a White Russian holiday. So, yay! There was no shaking because, again, we don't have a shaker. This is our first recipe without a shaker that we made. Thumbs up and high five to ourselves. Okay. So like you've seen in the title of today's video, we are going to be just catching up on some of the houseplants that are obsessed with winter growth. Some of them, I'm saying some like I'm talking about a few. It's just like about a handful of houseplants that I want to mention that are growing like crazy. One of them is actually my ficus alley, and my ficus alley is in my bedroom. The ficus alley is humongous. It is over 7 feet tall right now. So I'm like, I don't know why I'm so out of breath. But the ficus alley is over 7 feet tall, and it's living in my living room. What am I talking about? It's living in my bedroom. So I can't bring that entire gigantic tree in here. It would be way too much hassle. This is so good. I was not expecting this. Y'all need to make yourself a white Russian. Oh my gosh. This is my first time having one. And I don't know if the peppermints also are adding some extra zing and sweetness to it. It is so good. As someone who does not like vodka, I think this is probably one of the best drinks I've made yet. I can only imagine how rich and creamy this would be if I did use heavy cream. I might make another one later tonight. It is 9:04. Never mind. I'm definitely not going to make another one. I'm exhausted, y'all. Today has been a long day. It's been a busy day, but we made it. I picked up dinner for tonight. I got Japanese food, so I'm going to enjoy that. I got some beef short ribs, soba, some miso, some sushi, and then I also made myself some rice so I can have with the beef short ribs, which is so good. So I can't wait to like eat after tonight's live stream. So the second house plant that I found that is growing like crazy this winter is none other than, let me get it for you. And you're like, what are you talking about, Pam? Yes, so I love this plant. This is, of course, and will always be one of my most favorite house plants ever. And this is my Polyneura broguette, my Hoya Polyneura broguette. This plant is one of the ones that require you need to be a hands-on like plant pair for this plant. You can't honestly neglect it. There may be individuals who their Polyneura might like neglect. Mine does not. Mine needs you to give it what it wants. It doesn't need you to helicopter parent it, but it needs you to stay on top of what it wants. And I do find that my polyneuras go dormant during the warmer months, but during the colder and cooler months, it always pushes out growth for me. So during the warmer months, so for the last few years, since I got the polyneura, I had it living like towards like the back end here, okay? But when I first originally had it, it was just like this one node situation, right? Um, I think it was like this one, right? It was like just this one thing with the leaves, yada yada yada. Okay. So since then, it's grown. I've chopped this plant up quite a few times, believe it or not, quite a few times. I've sold, I've traded, I've gifted the Polyneura Roquette. I love this plant. And now it's pushing out delicious growth and it's making me so proud. So essentially, this whole entire vine is new, right? And you're like, what? Yeah, this entire vine is new. This here is its own new growth point. This is a whole new growth strand itself, yes. And all of these little leaves are new for this season. And then when I like go to this vine right here, this here, new growth point, new. It is pushing out new leaves, right, towards the lower portion. And this back here is growing some more. On top of here, this is a new growth point for sure. And like I mentioned, this here is also new. So, oh God, I almost knocked my drink over, but I didn't touch the drink. I just touched the straw. And then this is new. Literally a lot of new growth. I'm so happy. I'm so obsessed with this plant. And I just realized I forgot another plant in another room. So bear with me like a minute. Let me run and get the next plant I was talking about. Okay, let me show you who I'm talking about. I'm back. Hi, Miss Lady June. Welcome. Cheers to another lovely Friday. My gosh, this drink is so good. Make yourself a white Russian. This hair is driving me crazy. What is going on? Anyways, the next plant that's been growing like crazy for me at least, and if you know me, you know my situation with this house plant over the course of my houseplant parenthood, okay? And if you know me, if you're a salty pecan, you'll know the plant I'm talking about. It is the lovely, my gosh. Oh, this is like top 5 favorite plants. I honestly can't say this is number 1 favorite because my Dieffenbachia is like will always be number 1, my number 1 baby. But this is my Hoya linearis, and this Hoya linearis is humongous in growth. This plant has just, since I got it early spring, it has been like pushing and pushing out growth. And this winter, it is just growing like crazy. So I'm going to water it tonight. What I try to do is every other night or so in the shower. So this lives in my bathroom. This is one of my bathroom plants. Every other night when I remember, I will just grab this whole thing off of like the shower rod, right? And just run it under the shower, and then boom, let it drip. And it lives by the window. I have a window in my bathroom. So this is like a whole new vine, right? Because you see how erect it is, right? Versus like something that's a bit heavier like these. This is one of the newer vines because it's starting to get a bit top heavy, right? So it's starting to like now fall down. This is pretty erect. This is still erect, and it's not able to hold itself up enough, but it's falling and holding onto this one that's giving it support and taking it down. But if I like swayed it over to the side, you see it like that. And there are like just many of the different points. And again, this plant is humongous. Not in like volume, right? But in length, if that makes sense. So this is really long. If I like just take down this one vine, and I think this one vine is probably wrapped around a few times. I don't even want to like mess with this too much. Oh shit. All right. So this is right now how this is looking. Pretty long, okay? And I'm like 5'6" for, like height references. I'm 5'6", and this is giving me by my knee. And that's probably not even the longest one. That's just the one that I'm on, like wrapping. So the reason that I just cursed the way I just did right now, salty peeps, is I did a huge boo-boo, a big fuck up in regards to the next plant that I'm actually talking to you all about, that I want to share, that is growing like crazy this freaking season, and I just stepped on it and crushed the new growth point. Hooray for me! Ugh, so annoying. All right, so the next plant is actually this DIY combo. Okay, and what just happened is I just stepped on here and crushed. I don't know if I got this, but this one definitely is done for. The newest leaf that just popped off. I just stepped on it with my big feet, and this, hopefully this survived though. It survived the crustacean. Doesn't look like it survived. Looks pretty crushed, actually. But the next plant that is growing like crazy, but I'm so proud of this house plant, honestly. Let me tell you all a little backstory on this. This is one of the original, and I'm going to say original ZZ plants, the original ravens, that is not a Casa Farms like spawn. I got this from this like seller in Queens, like literally drove about 2 hours from where I'm at to get to her. And you're like, what? You both live in the same state and you live in the city part. Yeah, but New York, depending on where you're going, is far. Like Brooklyn, you can live in Brooklyn and it will take you like a hot minute to get to the other side of Brooklyn. So if you need to go from like South Brooklyn to Williamsburg, good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. My straw fell, so I'm without a straw now. I want to get a straw though. It was so freaking good. So I love this plant so much. So right now, this backside has lost some leaves, you know, over the many years I've had this. Okay. Let me look here. Hi, Felix. Felix says, hi, everyone. I'm afraid to get a Hoya linearis. I'm afraid if I look at it wrong, it's going to drop leaves. No, don't be afraid. Think positive. You got this, Felix. Like, I've made the mistakes, okay, in order for you to not make the mistakes, all right? This plant, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I love it. You just have to keep it moisturized, if that makes sense. You have to keep it well watered, and you also have to not let it get overly like sun like burned, right? Like don't let it get direct sunlight. At least that's what I noticed, because the direct sunlight dries this up really, really fast. So unless you're able to like keep on top of the watering, it will drop leaves. And I know, Felix, you're like, Pam, don't tell me not to be afraid of the Hoya linearis when you went through like 30 freaking Hoya linearis since you've been making plant videos. Stop, Felix. Don't judge me. Okay, let me support you. All right. Let me motivate you to be better than me. Okay. Don't judge me for my past mistakes. I'm human. I only want to do better. Okay. So I love this plant. Oh, I'm trying to like show y'all, but it's not faced. I want it faced like this. Oh. Girl. Sorry, quick intermission. I'm trying to be smart and use my brain to see if this will display nicely for y'all. But it doesn't want to. Heck. I just needed to just stay like this. Miss Lady June says, I like the combo. Nice. Thank you. I love the combo too. And it was like a little accidental combo. It wasn't even supposed to be like a combo. It was just, I had a extra vine of pothos and I just threw it in the pot and it decided to root itself. House of Love says, hello. Hi, House of Love. Welcome. You love the linear cell. I love it. Ah! Since you just popped in, let me show you again. This plant is so long. It has to be at least like 4.5 feet long itself. Yes! Ah! Ah! Let's see any cat. Look at it! So I have it wrapped again around, you know, the handle. Because, and the reason that I have it wrapped around the handle instead of having it hang like this is because, like I mentioned, it lives in my bathroom. And because it lives in my bathroom, the window is not a window that is long. And when I mean like it's not a long window, it's not like a floor to ceiling window, or it's not like the traditional windows that are in like the rooms, the bedrooms and whatnot. The window is, one of the shorter ones. So in order for this plant to get sunlight from where it's being hung up, and for both the top of the linearis and the tips of the linearis to get sunlight, I have to wrap it. And every so often I do have to like adjust how I have it, like wrapped, because sometimes they'll start growing and then it'll, look like this, and then this piece won't be getting sunlight because the windowsill will the window will stop here, so this whole portion will stop getting light. So that has affected the growth, right, of the linearis. So I've noticed again I have to adjust the lower portion of the linearis just to make sure that everything is getting an even amount of sunlight where it's living. Love it. I'm so obsessed with this plant. So yes, the next one again that's been giving me lots of lovely delicious growth is this combo. It is a golden pothos X Raven ZZ pot, and I can't believe this plant is so bushy, is so full already. So let me get back to my regularly scheduled commentary before a lovely house of love came in and got excited about the linearis with me. So the back of here is empty, as you can see. So of course the plant, throughout the years that I've had kind of this combo, it's gotten some neglect and it's lost some leaves. Cool. But what I love about this plant is that earlier this year, I decided to actually upgrade the pot. So it was living like in a smaller container for a really, really long time. A really, really long time. It was not putting out any growth. It was actually losing entire like stalks of raven, like throughout the year, to lose like one or two, throughout the years, like each year. So I decided to like suck it up and just repot it. And the reason like I don't really repot a lot of my plants is one, for space. The plants, when you repot them, you're repotting it with the intention of giving it a larger container. A larger container requires more space, more space. So I try to like keep my plants honestly in the same containers for as long as I possibly can. And the way ZZs are, they have rhizomes, which are, like when you think of like ginger, right? You think of these like big pieces, right, of like roots. So instead of it being like fine hairy texture root like normal plants like these, the Hoyas, the philodendrons, the monsteras, ZZs have the rhizomes. So once those rhizomes like are busting out of the pot, there is nothing you can do but give the plant a larger container. So that's what I did earlier this year. I gave it this container. So I transplanted both of these, because they were living in the other container together, into this container. And this plant went crazy with growth. Okay, it went crazy. So like this I was showing you, right? Every single one of these in here, okay, pushed out a growth point. So the reason this plant is so bushy is because I have this plant like wrapped around itself multiple times and it's rooted. So every wrapped portion that's in here is like rooted to the best of its ability. And that's why this plant looks so full and so bushy. So now the plant, I literally can no longer like find square footage to continue wrapping these, in here to, have it just like be like more of a basket. I'm going to have to repot this plant. That's my long story short. That's the whole reason of me telling y'all this whole thing. And y'all know I love adding these like little random, these little hunts, what are those things called? Gems, no. It's like for Jeep owners. Jeep owners, they no, please don't jump, please don't jump. Jeep owners, they have those like every Jeep, they'll have these random little things associated. They have like a bug or this symbol or that like on the Jeep. So, anyways, so for me, I have like on my plants, I like to put like little trinkets and dinkets, and the one that's actually for this one is my little beetle buggy that my friend Jay got me. It was a keychain, but the keychain fell. So my buggy lives on here. Hi, CJ. Welcome. We miss you. My Salty Pete fam is here. Oh. So I'm really excited about this plant because it's, again, just going crazy in new growth for this entire year. This plant has just been growing like crazy for me. So I'm so happy about it. I'm so proud of it. And I know I'm going to have to give it a larger container. And I'm not looking forward to giving it a larger container because giving it a larger container means I'm going to have to move where it lives. This plant will no longer be able to live on the windowsill happily as it has been since I've acquired it. It will no longer be able to do that. So that's another reason why I'm trying to avoid repotting it and giving it a larger container. But that's something that eventually will be inevitable. I'm going to have to repot it because if not, the plant is going to start declining in health, right? It's definitely going to start declining in health because the roots don't really have anywhere else to go. So it's suffocating. The hack, though, the hack that I have for, let me put this over here. I'm gonna just move the plant. The hack that I have for plants that I need to repot, but I don't want to give it a larger container. So let me come here, come a little closer. Hold on, hold on. Come a little bit closer. Don't know what you think. Something. Oh, I wanna be with you every way. Now I'm gonna play that song. No, I wanna be with you anyway. I wanna be with you. What's the name of that song? What's the name of this song that I'm chanting? Fleetwood Mac? What? Thank you, House of Love. Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac everywhere. All right, so I'm just giving y'all a heads up. If I play this song, I will be demonetized. So let's play this.
Get more cheer from your morning routine. Savor the season with our peppermint mocha flavored cream.
Let me let the ad just play. I'm gonna have to pause it like every 6 seconds because I think it's like after 8 seconds or 10 seconds of other content, you get demonetized. So. Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
Hear me calling out your name. You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say. Speak a little louder.
Because I'm definitely gonna be demonetized for that whole 3 seconds that I just played that song. Thank you, House of Love. You rock. You see what I did there? But it's no pun intended. So now let's just get into the next little portion, which is notching my ficus. And the ficus that actually am interested in notching is my ficus. I forgot the name of it. It's the ruby, the pink one. I forgot the name of it. It's this one. It's this one. Okay. So this ficus has been living in here for quite some time now, and it's making me really, really happy. I think I got this ficus in 2021 or 2022, and it was like a wee little lassie, wee little lassie, and it's been pushing out some amazing growth for me. And this is again one of the plants that I know. All right. I don't know I don't know where I put that plant down like that. I don't know about you, but for me, certain plants do their thing. And I do notice that maybe in someone else's home, that plant might do something else, but in my home, it's doing its own thing, right? So in regards to my ficus, I personally find my ficus push out more growth during the winter months. Yes, I have found my ficus fiddle leaf fig tree. I'm not too sure about the alley just yet because I haven't had my ficus alley for a full year yet. For a full year yet, I've had my ficus alley since February of this year. So we're creeping onto a full year, but I don't know how it's growing ultimately, truly during the colder months. But if you caught this live from the beginning a little, right? Then you would have noticed that I mentioned the ficus alley as my first plant that's pushing out new growth. This a lot of new growth this winter, fall, colder month season, right? So this is falling right on track, right on line with the alley, the ficus. This is boom, new leaf popping in. So especially with this new leaf popping in, I just noticed this as I'm talking to you all today. I am going to have to make sure I stay on top of the watering. If you don't know, now you know. When your plants are pushing out new growth, this is the last moment that you need to neglect your plant. When your plant is pushing out new growth, this is actually the point where you should pay a bit more attention to your plant. Give it a little bit more love. Literally, the plant pushing out new growth is a pregnant woman about like nurturing, creating a child, and it's giving birth. Like, this is when it's the most fragile. This is when it needs the most support. This is when it needs the most like acknowledgement. You know what I mean? And this is also me talking to myself, not just y'all. So around this time is like not the point where you need to neglect your plant. This is where you need to stay on top of the watering. You need to, and you, as in you, Pam, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Never gonna be you. So for you to be, it was never gonna be you. It was never. It was never gonna be you. So for you to be so delusional,
I think I did it myself.
That is ridiculous. It's real. It was never gonna be you. It was never. It was never gonna be you. So for you to be so delusional and crazy like that is ridiculous. It's real.
This is, and the caption says, "Me to me." After I didn't win yet another Instagram plant giveaway.
Never gonna be you. It was never gonna be you. So for you to be so delusional and crazy like that is ridiculous. It's real. It was never gonna be you.
Okay. So the reason I just showed y'all that is because I was talking to myself, like, yo, you Pam, like, I'm talking to you. But like, I be talking to me all the time. So Miss Lady June says my snack plants and aglaonema are growing now. That is cool. Ooh, what's a snack plant? What's a snack plant? Put me on. What? Put your girl. Jackie Chan meme. Jackie Chan confused. Like, snack plants? What's a snack plant? Let me Google what a snack plant is. Y'all, I'm starting to have a bit of this. If this thing doesn't get off my hair, I'm having this like these like little ideas for next year's, HauzPlant and cocktail live streams. There are a couple little tweaks that I'm wanting to do, but of course, anything that I want to do is just me having to actually like do it, right? So one of the things like I want to do, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm actually not going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it, and you're all going to see it when I do it. That's it. What was I supposed to look at? Snack plants. Oh, snake plants. Okay. You know, it's Miss Lady June. I actually typed in snack plants and snake plants came up. So Google knew what you were talking about. I'm a little slow tonight. Because the White Russian! I feel the White Russian! Yo, make yourself a White Russian if you can. I think I might make myself another one for myself. I typically never do like more than one drink on Fridays with like in general. But that's really good. My grocery store is still open. If I were to end the live now, I would be able to make it to my grocery store in about like 6 minutes. Nope, I would make it to my grocery store in about 4 minutes if I end it now. And it closes at 10 and it's 9:42. I would be able to make it by like 9:50 to get the heavy cream. But am I gonna do that? That's not work. So let's notch my ficus. So the reason I'm going to actually do a little notch is I just want to see if this I'm just fucking with it, right? Excuse my language. And when I say fucking with it, I'm talking in like New York slang. When New Yorkers be like, yo, I'm just fucking with you, that's kind of like, yo, I'm messing with you, you know? I'm just messing with it. I'm not really doing anything to expect it to successfully give me new growth like offshoots, but it doesn't hurt to do that. So I have this blade here, and I'm going to just go like right near the nodes are, and I'm going to notch. I don't want it to start so low down here. I typically would have waited for this plant to be actually a little taller to do this, but like I said, I'm just fucking with it. I want to experiment with my plant. And there's no rule book by when you should properly be notching, because you know what if I want this to be a ficus bush? It could be a bush and it could have offshoots starting from low down. So it's your prerogative. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. Why don't they just let me live? That's my prerogative. I don't need permission. Make my own decision. That's my prerogative. Bobby Brown edition. Actually, oh, should we do Bobby Brown edition or Britney Spears edition? Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown. We'll do Bobby Brown. We'll do. Wait, I had to pause it because it was about to. Everybody's talking all stuff about me. Why don't let me leave? Hold on, let's Zillow go back. I look crazy, y'all. No, just let me. Everybody's talking all this stuff about me. No, just let me live. Oh, yo, this whole live is done. YouTube is gonna be like, girl, you are not about to be monetized for this one. We're gonna send it to Sony, to NBC, to Viacom, to Bad Boy. Yo. Okay. I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna start my notch from where you can see it, which is right here. So you can see the diameter of this. This is, you know, not very thick. So I'm going to go about like not a full halfway, but about a third. And I'm not going to do it like straight like this. I'm going to do it like at a low angle. Okay, so at an angle, and I'm gonna see that white little sap is gonna come, and I'm not gonna do it too deep in. All right, and the sap, it's bleeding. We have the ficus sap, it's bleeding. I'm gonna go just to the next node and notch it as well. And again, at an angle, making sure to not go too deep in because I don't want to like clip the entire plant. Okay, I'm not trying to clip the entire like top off. I'm just trying to notch this. And just always just be careful with sap. Like from any plant, just be careful with sap because some sap are irritants, you know. Letting it just bleed the sap, and I'm just gonna just tap it just to. And then this one right here, I'm going to notch down here too. And the reason I'm doing multiple notches is to give the plant multiple chances of having off-growth shoots. So the concept behind notching, right, is like the same concept behind when you cut the top of like the idea behind notching, right? The science behind notching is when you think of snipping the top of a plant, it typically brings multiple offshoots, right? So pinching is when you would like cut the top off of a plant. But when you decide to like propagate a plant and like, for example, this linearis, if I choose to cut here, typically for most plants, what will happen is that at the point where I cut it off, it will give me two, like it will split off and give me multiple growth points. So the theory, the concept behind notching is the same. So instead of you fully, completely cutting off the top portion of the plant, the top portion of, the top portion of the plant, you're in a way tricking it, right? By notching it. So you're cutting it deep enough where it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm about to die. You're ripping away like the new growth, right? The future. You're cutting away the future. How am I going to like survive how am I going to survive? What do I have to do? I have to send out more growth points away from where you cut it, right? I need to send more growth points to different parts of the plant to ensure my survival. Okay, so that's pretty much my dramatized theory behind what notching is. Okay, so I just gave this plant 3 notches. I gave it a notch here. Okay, I gave it a notch here, and I gave it another notch up here. Okay, so it's 3 notches I gave this ficus. So now we are going to play the waiting game. The waiting game with the ficus, the waiting game with notching, the waiting game with pinching is seeing if the plant responded to what you wanted. And the response is, I'm going to die. My new growth point, right? The future, which is the top, is going to like die. Okay, because I just felt like I just got cut into. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to send offshoots. I'm going to have to send new growth points. So we are waiting for the baby in the next couple of months to, work in itself, signal what it needs to do, communicate within the cells of the plant. The mitochondria is the what powerhouse of the what the cell, period. So we are mitochondriaing this. Okay. Cello Bella says, good evening from the PNW. Thanks for covering notching. I am not to that level yet, but it's on the list. Guess what? There is no, honestly, believe it or not, Cello Bella, if you have ever like cut or broken off a piece accidentally, like I did, like I just accidentally stepped on this. So both of these are new growth that are about to die. In a way, a lot of like accidents with plants are in a way notching too, even though this is not notching. But if you've ever like had a new growth part die off and then the plant decided to simultaneously put out vines, put out like pieces from like other parts of the plant, then you've in a way notched yourself. Okay. But I so the notching, so I did not only notch this ficus, I did also notch my fiddle leaf fig in my room. So I'm sorry, I didn't notch my fiddle leaf fig. I pinched my fiddle leaf fig. So the next concept in promoting new growth, promoting offshoots, right, is pinching, the concept of pinching. And you're like, pinching, pinching. Literally, it's all you think. All you do is you're pinching. You take it, you pinch. Okay? So, ficus, particularly, I do pinching with because, again, I just want to see if the pinching will promote new growth plants, because ultimately, at least for me, what I want to feel like when I come into the plant room, or when I have like, or when I see one of my plants, when I'm around my plants, I do truly want to feel like I'm in an Amazon forest, I'm in the jungle. And throwback to HauzPlant from like 2018, 2019, when again I spoke about just like my love and my fascination and my obsession with having a linearis. I always said like I want to feel like I'm going into like the rainforest, and you have those hanging vines, and you have to be like, oh my gosh, the vines are in my, like let me, you know, like that's how I ultimately want to feel like when I'm in my plant room, when I'm surrounded by my plants. I really just want to feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many plants around here. Like I feel like I'm literally outside, but I'm inside. So the with like notching and the pinching, I do want my plants to give me as much growth as it can. I want my plant to be as large as it possibly can be. Um, let me put my little Sandy hat back on. Okay. Okay. So, I pinched my ficus lyrata, my fiddle leaf fig tree, the one that's in my room. So this is the only ficus I keep in here. I did keep this in my bedroom where I had like all my ficus, but I decided to just move this in here so I could give it a little bit more focus. So in my room right now, the plants that I have in my bedroom, I have my two large ficus, which is the fiddle leaf fig tree and the ficus alley. And Deborah says, hello, cello, fellow Pacific Northwesterner here. Yup, yup. Cello Bella says, thank you. That's what's up. A great way of saying it. I've had accidents. Yeah, we've all had accidents. For example, like What's this? My Dieffenbachia. This piece right here is the lower portion of the Dieffenbachia, and the taller portions you can't even see because they're like off screen. So this one is an accident that occurred eons ago where the plant, I guess it was a little too top heavy, and I was like much younger, I was like in high school, like, or like fresh out of high school. And like my mom gave me this plant, and I guess it got too top heavy and it snapped. And like at that time, and even in general, like personality wise, I'm like really like, where the wind blows, like, whatever. Even though I'm actually like very like, but in this regards, I'm very like, right? So I just like placed the broken piece like bloop, on top of the soil, and I just went about living my life. And I never realized that the plant decided to like root itself. The cane portion of it rooted itself, and now I have two plants in one. Right. Well, I have multiple plants in one, but I have like two Dieffenbachias in one. So like the lower part, right, the big mama part, though mother plant, right? It's huge, big, ooh, tall, like feet, like at least like 10 feet tall. And the broken off piece that I was like, whatever about, right? Hey, no, pamote, pamote. The whatever, tall piece, right, is this one, So it allowed my plant to actually have some sort of dimension. It's not just one big tall stalk. It's one big tall stalk with, a little friend off the side that, oh no, Sandy hat. My Sandy hat is coming off. So, oh my gosh, Zeb! No! Zeb says, Pam! I snagged my big dive 2 days ago. It was over 7 feet tall. What? Debbie snacks. No way. That's fine. Don't stress though. It's okay. It's okay. We got this. How are you planning on rooting it? Like, what did you do? So after it snapped, did you like place it in water, or did you like put it in soil? What did you do? That is cute pancakes. Oh, that is cute. Oh, oh, Deb said, instead I cried at a little biatch. I don't blame you. Honestly, I don't blame you because the way these plants be having us like so invested in them, this girl is like ready for the loving. You literally should see it, her head right now. She's like rubbing herself all over me. Deb says, then I dipped it in rooting hormone, let it callus, and put it in water. It'll be all right. Yep. Yeah, it'll be all right. Everything gonna be all right. Gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. Period. Look, y'all, my drink is almost done. I might be a little tipsy though. I'm not gonna lie. And you see exactly what I wanted the peppermint crumbles to do. It literally did exactly what I needed to do. It added that pepperminty syrup. Mm. It has that peppermint taste. It has that peppermint taste. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So, saucy peeps, I'm excited. No, I'm again. Let me not do that. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm so sorry that I even mentioned it. I hate being that person that does that. I hate being the person that mentions something. So like, oh, never mind, forget about it. Look, she's about to bite me. She's about to bite me. You know, they give you that that friendly nibble. Can y'all believe I've had her since 2011? My baby. I got her Christmas Day 2011. It's about to be a baby birthday. Baby birthday will be cool. I love you so much. It's the purring for me, to be honest. It's the serious purr. It's the serious purring for me. These are the little things in life that honestly matters. Oh my goodness. So, my salty peeps, I am loving spending time with you all. Let me stop this ad that it says it's showing y'all. Loving spending time with you all. She just gave me some of this. What is it? What do they call these companion animals? There, something therapy, something therapy animals, emotional therapy. I think that's what they call them. Like, I don't have like human children yet. I want human children, and I know I'm going to be an awesome human children mom. But this love, you know, like this unspoken love that you do have with like your fur babies, or, depending on like what, non human babies you have, like reptiles or like rabbits, Thank you for choosing me. All right, my salty peeps. So let me go on ahead. It's 10 p.m. now. I just noticed that it's 10 p.m. I've been on here for an hour and 13 minutes. I can't believe it because I did not know that. Um, whew, I am feeling, yes, emotional support animals. That's what they're called. Um, yeah, I literally have a lap cat. When you see these like TV things or movies, and you have like these pets that love to just be held and comforted, this is her. Like, if I am sitting here for 2 hours and she catches me sitting here at the beginning of those 2 hours, she will literally be laying on me for 2 hours. Literally. So I have a lap cat. I have two lap cats. She's more of a lap cat. Lola is just like a touch me, like give me rub downs, but she will lap for as long as it will let her lap. So, salty peeps, um, next week's live, I hope you're excited for it. It won't be like a early live, but it won't be a late live. So next week, next Friday, excuse me, I have one of my sorority sisters. It's like her birthday. So she's having like a birthday situation. So it won't be a late live. I won't be home around this time next week, God willing, But we're going to have a live next week. And I hope you're excited for next week's live. I'm just trying to amp you all now. Next week, I'm going to be doing our plant tea house plant giveaway. Okay. I want to do a giveaway for you all for the holiday season. So I'm going to do it next week. So at least I can try to ship everything out before Christmas, right? You may or you may not get it, before Christmas, but you're going to be receiving it after I ship it out. So you probably receive it like after Christmas, towards like the new year. But next week I'm gonna do a planty giveaway, and it will not be like house plants, right? And that's only because I'm doing this with the idea of weather, and I live in the Northeast, and it was snowing yesterday. Okay, it started snowing yesterday, so I don't want to be shipping plants in the cold weather, right? So it's going to be planty accessories. So brace yourself. I love you all, and yeah, I just want to give you all some things. So yeah, I think with that being said, I am going to end off tonight's live. And yeah, my lab cat is just like, girl, it's my time. It's always my time. I am the original baby. I'm the original baby. I'm the original baby. I'm the original baby. He's a baby. He's just a baby. He's just a baby. He's a baby. She's a baby. She's a baby. Debbie Snacks says, I still owe you your euphorbia. Yes, I'll take a euphorbia. Don't forget. But yes, my salty pecans. Let me know also, even like in the chat. I don't know how long the chat will, allow you all to comment, but I think once the live is gone, it won't allow new comments, but it will just like re-roll. So if you're unable to like comment here, maybe like comment here, like maybe what you would want me to add into the giveaway next week, because I have a couple things, but I just want to see maybe if I'm able to pick something up by next Friday. Um, yeah, so that's a surprise. I just told y'all the surprise. That would have been Friday's surprise when I popped in. But I'm going to let y'all know now. Okay. So if you haven't already, salty pecans, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I am going to go ahead and end the live off tonight. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I love you all so much. Thank you, Debbie Snacks. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, New Salty Pecan that commented today. Cello Bella. Thank you, House of Love. Thank you, Miss Lady June. You're all awesome. I love you all. Thank you for joining me tonight. And we will see you all in next week's live. My Sandy hat fell, but let's sound off with Sandy hat back on. And next week's cocktail, I really want to do something fun, but it's hard finding certain ingredients for certain cocktails. So I'll see you on the next one. Let's see you next week. Let's get going. I love you all. Bye. Put my hat back on. And again, make a white Russian. It's so good. Definitely pepperminty, snapsy, deliciousy.